I am here at the end of the game. Or, as you might say in Greek, the telos of the game.
I need to fully charge the signal.
Here is the final puzzle. The goal of this puzzle is to move pieces around and make connections, like this. That only made 3 connections. That wasn't so good. That was better. That made more connections. And as you can see, this is much, much better. We're making dozens of connections and almost filling up the charge meter all the way. So this is going to be the solution. You click on this one here, which is in the 3rd row and 3rd column. You also click on this one here in the final column in the 3rd from bottom row.
All right. The lift should be working again now.
Master Sleuth mode has a similar solution. Click on the button, which is in the 3rd row and the 3rd column. Then you click on the button in the 3rd from bottom row in the final column. Then go back to the button in the 3rd row in the 3rd column.
All right. The lift should be working again now.
Hooray! And as you can see, you don't need all 5 charges. You can solve the puzzle in fewer charges. Now that the lift is working, we can go on stage to interrupt the play and stop the culprits.
I beg you, Hermes, bring her back to me.
Dear Demeter, it is out of my grasp.
Think carefully, girl.
Hades, take her away!
Sorry, Xenia. There's been a last-minute script change.
Have you lost your mind? Let her speak, daughter.
A daring art heist will not be seen in this evening's production. Instead, a killer, mastermind, grifter, and lost artist will tell the tale of how they almost stole an entire collection of rare art.
She's lying!
That's for the audience and the police to decide. Hermes, how does this story end?
In some versions, the dark forces of the underworld prevail, but not today.
Dear Ned, the world premiere of Persephone in Winter was surprisingly well received. Although now that most of the cast is in custody, I doubt there will be an encore performance anytime soon. After initial investigation, authorities now believe Xenia began selling stolen art during college. You could say she was something of a prodigy, I guess. Through connections she made selling stolen art, she was eventually introduced to Kronos, and by extension, Thanos. From there, the heist took shape. Xenia orchestrated the operation, and Thanos scared off anyone and everyone who would get in the way. When Melina couldn't be chased away, she was sent on a wild goose chase to track down jewelry that had never gone missing in the first place. The only hitch in their production was, well, me. The outcome of Xenia's trial is still unknown, but I have a strong hunch we're going to be in for a very long winter. Thanos was taken into custody along with the rest of the cast, but it appears he did actually have some friends in the local police force. He's on the network's radar, and they hope to bring him to justice soon. Gregor is currently serving time for his part in the attempted heist. With Thanos on the loose, jail may be the safest place for Gregor to be. He wrote me to say he's spending his time setting aside the many characters he's played, and for once focusing on the man he'd like to become once he's released. If the rumors I heard about his plea deal are to be believed, I'd say he's off to a wonderful start. Niobe admitted her part in the heist and was sentenced to probation and work release. Although she won't admit it, Niobe firmly believes Gregor's plea deal led to her light sentence. She may have lost her place in the art world, but it seems she's finding her place in the real world. For Melina, it turned out that a foiled art heist is the best possible way to advertise a new exhibit. When the crowds came, Melina was ready, and life in ancient Greece was a resounding hit. Attendance levels are at an all-time high, and Melina couldn't be happier. After leaving Greece, I met up with Frank and Joe, and we concocted a heist of our own. I can't share all of the details, but it involves smuggling out one of Emerson's priceless Nickersons during semester break. I could tell you more, but I'd hate to ruin the surprise. Love, Nancy. P.S. I'm serious. Pack a bag, unlock your windows, and burn this letter immediately.
Dum-ba-dum. Okay, so what artifact is not in the museum's office? The helmet? Ah! Okay, well, I got the trivia question wrong, but look at all these other awards I got. Hooray! Hooray! I got a lot of awards. Let me see. Well, I don't want to look at awards anymore. Let's see the preview for the next game.
Long ago, in Iceland's longest night, when volcanic ash blanketed the world in darkness and terror, a starving village was spared by the wreck of one lost ship. Centuries later, the ship has returned, unmanned and unmoored, flying across the crashing sea. Join me on my next adventure. Sea of Darkness.
It's a very dark sea. You're gonna have a hard time seeing through it. So, that is the end of Nancy Drew Labyrinth of Lies. What do I think about this game? I like this game. This is a very good game. It's better than the other Nancy Drew game that was released this year. The Shattered Medallion. The Shattered Medallion, I liked playing the, computer... I like playing the TV challenges, and I like Sunny June. But besides for that, the game's not too good. There's no mystery to that game, whereas this game has a lot of mystery. I like that. The mystery was thought out. All of the characters were thought out. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting an ending where every single character is the culprit. Oh my. So here's the cast. Lanny Minella as Nancy Drew, Julia Stockton as Xenia, Catherine Grant Suti as Niobe, Bo as Thanos, Jeff as Gregor, Jonah Von Spreeken as Frank Hardy, Rob Jones as Joe Hardy, and Billy Wildrick as Melina. So these are all the special thanks. I never know what to say during the ending credits. Yeah. Anyway, I like this game. I really like the setting of this game, too. They did a really good job with utilizing the myths, so all these underworld myths come into play as puzzles, like the three-headed dog. We had a puzzle with that. A puzzle with the Danaiads. A minor puzzle with Sisyphus. The only person I can think of who didn't get a puzzle was Tantalus, the guy in the underworld who, he can never eat fruit, and he can never drink water. The water and the fruit just tantalize him all day long. But you know what? I'm fine with not having a puzzle about that. You know, the puzzles in this game were good. Maybe that last puzzle, that final puzzle, was kind of weird with the buttons turning around and making connections. So I'm just going to pretend that the seed puzzle was the final puzzle of the game. I mean, that seed puzzle was longer and more complicated. And I do like how the characters have fancy outfits and fancy designs. It was very fancy. I like the new pictures for Frank and Joe Hardy too. Those were good pictures. And this picture of Thanos standing next to his Queen Xenia, very, very good. So these are how they make the backgrounds for the game. Apparently, things start out as X-ray machines, and then they become marshmallows, and then they become the items you see in the game. So that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching my video walkthrough. I'll see you in Iceland next year.